And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. There is a light, and it never goes out. Because today we are talking about lights, and unfortunately that The Smiths song is a little bit, it's not the happiest of songs if you just look at the words, although there is a certain type of beauty to the undying affection that one has for another. But anyways, aside from that, we are referring to the ending of that song. There is a light, and it never goes out, because we had ourselves a quote posted by Dylan Larkin after the Detroit Red Wings won their 4th straight game with new head coach Todd McLellan. A light has been brought back to our team. This was following yesterday's Detroit Red Wings victory against the Winnipeg freaking Jets. Yeah, that's right. The Jets, Detroit wins with a 4-2 score, and they look pretty good in the process. The Red Wings, the past few games, have really started to get their act together, and it all comes after new head coach Todd McLellan told this team to just play freaking hockey. Like, think about that for a second. The Wings had like a 1-hour practice. Todd McLellan goes out there, play freaking hockey. Play freaking hockey. And then the team starts winning. It's like, okay, what were they being told before? What were they doing if they weren't playing freaking hockey before? The Wings had a pretty good playoff push towards the end of last season, and this season you can say that the roster should be a little bit more experienced and or maybe even just a tad better personnel-wise. But now, the Red Wings are back. They're in the thick of it. Everybody knows. 38 points in 39 games this season, 6-4-0 in their last 10, and they have won 4 straight. Todd McLellan has a 4-1 win-loss ratio as head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, and at some point, you gotta ask yourself, man, if they had just made the coaching change sooner, what would have happened? If Derek Lalonde's tenure in Detroit didn't last past the first month or whatever, if the Wings were given that message, play freaking hockey, just like months before, where would this damn team be? Yesterday's game against the Winnipeg Jets saw Lucas Raymond with another 3-point night, Dylan Larkin 2 goals, Patty Kane 2 assists, and DeBrincat had the extra marker as well, not to mention 3 assists for Mo Seider. So my fantasy team is looking pretty strong with that pickup. Ultimately, though, I wanted to dive into some of the quotes that Larkin made in this Sportsnet interview. I'll leave a link in the description to the video itself, and I'll also leave a link in the description to this article published by Jack Sutherland on RedWingsInsider.com. Red Wings' Dylan Larkin latest comments are a major indictment on former head coach Derek Lalonde. Okay, all clickbaity titles aside, and I know a clickbait title when I see one, obviously, because I, of course, am one of the guys that likes to do that myself. Obviously, we made the coaching change, and with that, we've seen guys step up and bring life back to our team. We lost Todd's first game against the Leafs, but we had a third period where we were down 5-0, and we came out and had a good third period, and started to build. And since that second intermission against the Leafs, we've been playing really good hockey and building confidence, getting good goaltending, winning games on the special teams like you had seen tonight. In regards to Todd, he says this, I think he's just come in and he's tried to build this up, and I think we were pretty down going into the Christmas break. He's come in, and he and Trent Yawney have done a really good job in trying different things and almost simplifying it, trying different line combinations and letting us play. And that is pretty particular, because it's like, okay, was Derek Lalonde not allowing the Wings to do that? Was he making it overcomplicated, trying the same line combinations and not letting the guys play? I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too speculative to read into basic comments like this during a post-game interview, but it still is reasonable to assume that the changes that Todd McLellan made and the things that Larkin is talking about are things that had not applied to the team in the past. And Derek Lalonde, as much as your bald, Gru-looking-like head was nice to look at times, it definitely wasn't providing the Red Wings with the proper formulas for success. And when you consider the... Okay, that was really rude. I'm apologizing for that one. Yeah, maybe I'm just too Canadian there. But I couldn't get away with talking about Gru and not apologizing for it. But anyways, The Wings are starting to unlock their true potential, and I think at this point in the season, you really just have to ask, what's the ceiling here? What's the cap? Because a lot of guys are starting to mesh well together again, and on top of some of the other players just overall improving their consistency. I mean, Moritz Seider, for example, he is looking phenomenal under Todd McLellan. Not that he wasn't good under Derek Lalonde. I'd actually argue that he was one of the better players the Wings had all season, but under this new system where he's just doing what it is that he needs to do, he's simplifying the game, he's making these hits, he's making these reads, he's moving the puck. Everything that we are seeing out of Seider is almost like prime Seider. It's like what we had seen in the past to the max. And that's kind of a stupid way to articulate it, I guess. Like, oh yeah, he's gotten better. Whoop-de-doo. But like, when you think about the way he's able to control that blue line, even yesterday against Winnipeg, look at who you have on the other side. Josh Morrissey, Neil Pionk, these guys are pretty good players. Moritz Seider, you could say he was the best defenseman there on the entire ice, and now he is looking like a guy that can become one of the top defenders in the NHL in terms of overall efficiency, not just offensively. I don't think that Moritz Seider is ever going to outproduce a Cale Makar or a Quinn Hughes, but he is looking like a much more reliable defenseman than the Wings have had in years. It's crazy. He's crazy, and the new systems in place are allowing him to do that. And speaking about defense, what's the biggest thing that defenders can do other than blocking shots and making hits? Well, it's breaking the puck out. This gosh darn Red Wings team has started to do that with more consistency than we have seen maybe at any point under Derek Lalonde. It's all coming together for the Detroit Red Wings, and there is a light, and it never goes out. Jonathan Berggren scored a really nice goal the other day. The game-winning goal coming out of the penalty box, a very good moment for him on the breakaway. Walks right in, snipes it. He says that it's chalked up to confidence. Yeah, confidence, man. The Wings are playing with confidence. And you know what they say about confidence, right? It's infectious. You fake it till you make it. If you've got one, you've got them all, and that's what the Wings have been exhibiting. This team is more cohesive than before. And I think if Stevie Y and the rest of the Red Wings managerial staff, if they knew that this would have been the impact the team would be able to cultivate under a new head coach like Todd McLellan, they probably would have done this a lot sooner. Like, I don't really have any good reason to think about why Yzerman would have wanted to stick with Lalonde, unless he was just so familiar with that Tampa Bay connection that they thought it was the most prevailing thing of all. But ultimately, it's not looking all too good for Derek Lalonde when you consider the success the Wings are having now, but of course, it's only a 4-game sample. 4 wins, at least. 5-game sample in total, with 1 loss at the beginning there. A third period sort of comeback attempt against the Toronto Maple Leafs. But anyways, the Wings have been playing well, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What's gone right? And what do you think is the biggest thing this team has changed ever since Todd McLellan's arrival? The article, as well as the video interview with Dylan Larkin, will be linked in the description below, so you can read those and consume those on your own time. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Wings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.